As announced earlier, I am going to tell the story of Brahmarishi Viswamitra. I called it amazing story because the kind of ups and downs in his life and the kind of penance, something like 10,000 years he has done in various conditions, various difficulties. He has been obstructed to achieve his goal by Indra, whether it is Manaka, Rambha or Sunasepu, various kinds of difficulties and disappointments are plenty for him. But the tenacity and the kind of determination has brought him what he richly deserved over the years. In this process he lost his sons, he lost his prestige also, and he spent all his the fruits of his penance, Tapasya. All that he has lost. Despite all that, he has come out with flying colors in the end. This is the story of Viswamitra, which I am going to tell you. Probably some of you must have seen films in Viswamitra, generally being a very angry man and cursing people, etc. But the real story is a difficult path which he has taken and succeeded. I think this is an abject lesson for all of us. We get demoralized and give up at the beginning of the obstacle. But there are some people who give up in the middle. But there are some people, great achievers, they go through all the difficulties. At least I remember, without taking the name of politician, one non-politician is Mahatma Gandhi. He is one who has achieved what he wanted, in spite of the terrific difficulties. Viswamitra is, is of the highest clan, I will say. Let us hear his story. Most of us know about Viswamitra. He came to Dasharatha to ask for the help of Rama and Lakshmana, because his yajna is being spoiled by Rakshas, demons. And as all of us know, that Dasharatha, he said, this boy is not even completed 16, and I cannot send him. After a long time he was born to me, etc., etc. But Vasista has told him that he is a very powerful Rishi, he can kill himself, but he wanted to give something to Rama. Please allow him to go. After the persuasion he has gone. And all of us know he killed Subahu, and Maricha was hurt and ran away from that place. And the yajna was completed. Later, he came to know that there is an yajna being performed by Janak Maharaj in Mithila. So he said, we will go on there also. And he told his prodigies Rama and Lakshmana, there is a Shivadhanas which has come by inheritance from his forefathers. You can have a look at it. Of course, all of us know how he broke the Shivadhanas and married Sita, etc. That is a part of the story. While they were traveling to Mithila, on the way they saw a ashram which is completely deserted. There were no animals, there were no birds, no trees, nothing. It was completely deserted in all respects. Rama was surprised and asked Viswamitra, why this ashram is like this, without any kind of activity. Then he told the Ahalya story, and as soon as Rama entered that compound, Ahalya got her curse removed, and she joined her husband Gautam. And further they travelled and reached Janak Maharaj's palace. When they reached there, Satananda happens to be the son of Ahalya and Gautam. Happens to also is a Purohit of, Raj Purohit of Janak Maharaj. He came, and by that time he came to know that his mother got her life back because of Rama. So he profusely thanked Rama for bringing his mother back to life, and joined his father. During that time, Satananda told Rama, do you know this gentleman Viswamitra? He may be your guru. You are so fortunate to have such a guru. He is not an ordinary guru like anybody. He is a Kshatriya by birth, and he has become a Brahmarishi. I will narrate the whole story for you, and look at Viswamitra for his ascent. He smiled. Then he started the story. Satananda started the story. Then Satananda Viswamitra is a king by birth. His father's name was Ghadi. They had a big kingdom and a lot of army, a big size army and plenty of kings working under him. So he had a very peaceful this one as a king, and his subjects were very, very happy with him. But however, he used to look after them by traveling throughout the country now and then. Once he happened to travel around the country, and at one place he saw Vasista's ashram. So he told his army to stay back outside, and he went inside the ashram and saluted with all the respect to Brahmarishi Vasista Maharshi. Vasista also, he gave equal respect to the king of that kingdom where he lives also. So he gave all this one, what you call is to be done, like giving him water and fruits, and gave him full respect, and they exchanged pleasantries. They both were very happy with each other. And then he said, if the Brahmarishi permits, I would like to leave now, because the outside the army is waiting for me. Then Vasista told, how can you go, sir? The king has come to my place, and I would like to serve a lunch for you and the whole army. Then Vasista told, Viswamitra told, why to take trouble? You need not take the trouble. To serve so many people is a bit difficult. No, I can do it, don't worry. And as he was insisting, Viswamitra said, okay, as you wish. So then Brahmarishi Vasista called his cow, Kamadhenu, by name Sabala. Sabala, come here. And the king has come with all his army. So give him all the kinds of food that is liked by his army and himself. You kind of eatables, drinkables, all kinds of liquors and various kinds of foods which everybody likes. So Sabala produced in no time all that, and the whole army ate. The Viswamitra also ate, and he was immensely happy and was at the same time surprised that a cow has supplied so many things. Then after the lunch, Viswamitra told Vasista, this cow is like a jewel. This jewel, generally all the jewels are the property of the king. So this belongs to me, so I will take it away. Then Brahmarishi Vasista told, King, this is my life. Right from morning puja to everything I do with this only. It is my life. I cannot give it like that. So please do not take it. But Viswamitra, being an arrogant and slightly proud man, he said, nothing doing, I will take it. It is my property. So he called his army and asked him to take the cow. They pulled it by force. After a few minutes, it wriggled out of them and came to Vasista and asked a straight question. Brahmarishi, did you give me to Viswamitra? He said, no, I didn't give it. He, by force, he being the king, he has taken by force. Then she said, I will protect myself, you give me your energy. So he gave Brahmabala to her, and she produced from her amba, the shouting it has made, and from her milking this one, udder. Everywhere she produced an army full of people, and they completely destroyed Viswamitra's army. And not only that, Viswamitra's 100 sons were there. They also fought with this army, and in that they also lost their lives. So Viswamitra was totally defeated, and he was crestfallen. He was surprised. A cow could do like this, etc. So next time I will come and win over this cow and as well as Vasista. I cannot take this shame, because he was already a king and a bit of arrogance is there. So, what else he can do? He went back very disappointed. Then he turned his anger and disappointment into a tapasya. For 1,000 years he has done that penance. And after 1,000 years, Shankara appeared and asked Viswamitra, what do you want? You have done a great tapasya. He said, I want to complete Dhanurved with all the intricate things, and all the arms should be under Astras, Astras should be under my control, and I should be able to use them whenever I want. He said, okay, done. Then he was very happy that he got all the arms. So he started towards Vasista's ashram. Directly from Himalaya, where he prayed, he came directly to Vasista's ashram and he started throwing arrows, powerful arrows. There were hundreds and thousands of rishis under Vasista's ashram, and there were plenty of animals. With these arrows, the rishis have run helter-skelter. The animals ran away, and the whole thing was in pandemonium. So Vasista came out and to see what is happening. Suddenly there was so much turmoil. Then he said, he saw the king, Vasista, Viswamitra, what are you doing? You are not changed a bit. Then he started throwing arrows, Viswamitra against Vasista. Then he took his Brahmadanda and he raised that Brahmadanda. All the arrows were coming inside and they were nullified by his Brahmadanda. All the Astras, Indra Astra, Varuna Astra, Agneya Astra, Brahma Astra, everything that he knows were thrown. All those arrows were being absorbed by the Brahmadanda, and through Brahmadanda this Vasista was also illuminating like a star. Everybody was scared to see him in his full light. Viswamitra decided he was defeated. He has nothing to say again against Vasista, so then he thought the Brahma Bala is the Brahman Bala. Brahman strength is more than the Kshatriya strength. Meanwhile, all the rishis have prayed Vasista to come back to normalcy, which he came. So, one more defeat for Viswamitra, and as he was disappointed with Brahma Bala, so he came back. He somehow disappointed with the north. He came to south and he prayed for 1,000 years. Every time he undertake a penance, nothing less than 1,000 years he has done. So this time Brahma appeared and called him Brahmarishi. He was totally disappointed. My hard work and penance for 1,000 years was just nullified by Brahma, only called me Brahmarishi. He was angry, disappointed, everything. So, what else he can do? Brahma disappeared immediately. Then what had happened is, the Ikshvaku clan, there is a king called by name Trisanku, and he is the forefather of our Sri Rama. He had a sudden desire that he should go with this same body to heaven. He went to Vasista, being the Kulaguru. He said, I would like to go to heaven with this body. Then Vasista looked at him and he said, are you out of senses? Why are you thinking like that? It is impossible to go, and I will not do such yajnas. Go. He was disappointed with his guru, and he went to Guru's sons. And he told, I asked your father to perform an yajna which can take me to heaven with this body. Then they said, when our father cannot do, how can you think that we can do it? Don't have such ideas. He was disappointed and was angry also with this Vasista's sons also. Then he said, okay, I will search for another guru. That has given a trigger for their anger. He said, there cannot be any other guru for Ikshvaku Vamsa. Our father Vasista is the only guru for them. And if you are going to another guru, we are cursing you, tomorrow you will become Chandal. And the next day morning, he became a Chandal. Nobody wants to look at him even. He was, ministers ran away, subjects who came for work also ran away seeing this one. He became a black, thick-skinned man and wearing bones from Smeshan, crematorium, and he was wearing some kind of ashes. He was not like a king. So he was disappointed that he became like this, and he went to Viswamitra and narrated all his story. So he was sympathetic to Trishanku in one way, and he wants to avenge his defeat against Vasista. So he got an opportunity. He said, I will send you to heaven with this body. He has spent all the fruits of his 1,000 years penance on sending Trishanku to heaven. Then Indra told, you are cursed by Vasista's sons, you better go back, and you go in reverse direction. So with his head down, he came down and he started yelling, Viswamitra, Viswamitra, save me. So Viswamitra saw him and he put a hand saying that you stay there. He stayed there. He was hanging in between with his reverse head. Then he got angry, so much angry. He said, I will create a star world there and everything, and I will create one Indra also here. Then the angels came and prayed and cajoled and requested him by all their persuasive methods, and finally Viswamitra called off his anger. That's why our people say, humorously, when you cannot achieve anything, you will be like hanging like a Trishanku. Nowhere. He was neither in heaven nor on earth. He is supposed to be hanging even now. That's what our stories tell. Anyhow, in this process, what had happened is all his thousands of years of penance has gone to dogs. In nothing, he has come back to zero. Every time he is not able to control his anger or his impulsive nature. Anyhow, he wasted all these things. He has come to 0 again. So when he didn't succeed in the other direction, so he came to west. Then he did his penance for Tapasya for 1,000 years. Then one day he saw in Pushkara Kshatriya, where he was doing his penance, he saw King Ambarish was going on a chariot with a boy. Then the king has stopped for a bath, and during that time, when the king was not there, Ambarish was not there, one boy, Sunasepu, jumped out of that chariot and came to Viswamitra and said, Mama, you save me. This Sunasepu is none other than Viswamitra's sister's son. So he said what had happened. Then he narrated the whole story, that father was not willing to give eldest one. My mother was not willing to give her youngest son, because King Ambarish wanted a sacrificing animal. The animal which he has allotted was stolen by Indra. So he came to my father, and so I was given as a sacrificing animal. So he said, he took pity for this boy, and he said, I will tell you a mantra which you silently, without anybody hearing, do that when you are tied to the sacrificing pole. He said he was very happy. So he went back and sat in the chariot. King Ambarish came and took him to the yajna. They performed the yajna, and he was given a bath, and he was dressed up in red color and put tilak, etc., and tied to the sacrificing pole. Then, without anybody hearing, he recited what his mama told, 2 slokas, and Indra appeared on the scene, and he said, the young boy, you will have a long life, go. And he gave the fruits to Ambarish also, for the fruits of his yajna. So Ambarish was also happy, this Sunasep was also happy. After that, he realized that his penance was disturbed because of this incident. So Part of it also was sacrificed for his nephew. So again he started sitting, and he did for 1,000 years. Then he became a Rishi. He was neither happy nor unhappy, became a Rishi. Okay. He has no chance to speak to Brahma. Just he called him Rishi and gone. So what he can do, he cannot do anything. He kept quiet. While he was in West, in Pushkara, one day Menaka came for a bath, and she took bath in the river, and our Viswamitra saw Menaka. He fell in love with her. He was hit by Manmadha. So he lived with her for about 10 years, forgetting about all his tapasya and all those things. Then after 10 years, suddenly he got a awakening call, like in his mind, saying that this has been plotted by Indra to stop my penance. He was disappointed that he has wasted all his tapasya and also the time lost also. He said, okay. Menaka was terrified because he may curse her for this, all this. He told Menaka, you go. Without saying anything, he asked her to go. She was happy and she came back. He was not knowing what to do. He was being interrupted by various kinds of incidents. Then he decided, I will go elsewhere and start afresh. See, he came back to north again. He sat down and he did his penance for again 1,000 years without any kind of this one. This time his resolve was very high. He stopped eating completely, and finally became, Brahma called him Maharishi. Maharishi means Mahatva plus Rishi. You have become Maharishi. He said, okay, what else I can do, that, etc. While after that he started again doing penance, and Indra thought he should interrupt him, otherwise it will become a problem. And he told Brahma also, sir, I have become Jitendriya. I got control on all my organs and senses. Then he said, no, not yet. Then meanwhile Indra came with Rambha. Rambha was scared to come to Viswamitra because he is a very angry man. She told Indra also, you will curse me. He said, don't worry, I am also coming like a kaku, koil. So he came there along with Manmadha, and he saw Rambha, he fell in love. But suddenly something had happened. He heard the sound of koil, and this season was not the right Ritu. So he thought, yes, Indra is playing again tricks, and he cursed Rambha to be a stone for 10,000 years. And immediately Indra and Manmadha ran away to their respective places. So he lost all his power in cursing Rambha. Again he realized that I have wasted all my penance of thousands of years because I could not control my anger, and I cursed this one. He was repenting. What else he can do? He was repenting that all these hurdles are only creating problems for me. Finally he came to the east to pray. This time his resolve was very, very hard. He stopped completely breathing, eating, everything, and the body is emanating heat in all directions. The whole earth was becoming hot, and it has reached even the heaven. So all the angels rushed to Brahma. This man is now unstoppable. He is becoming very, very very hot. He is very focused now. So Brahma came in, and Viswamitra, Brahmarishi, then he was very happy. He opened his eyes and he said, "Oh, thank you, the Lord Brahma, but I want some things." He said, "Okay, ask." Then he said, "I want to know all the Vedas, and I should be given a permission to teach Vedas." Because earlier only Brahmins were allowed to teach Vedas to the students. Then he said, "I should be having the permission to conduct yagas." Yagas are also were conducted by only Brahmins. So in a way, he wanted to become a Brahmin, which Brahma has changed him to Brahmarishi. He was very happy about all he got, but suddenly he remembered. He said, "Vasista should call me Brahmarishi." Brahma didn't say anything, he disappeared. The angels, all the angels rushed to Brahmarishi Vasista and requested him, cajoled him, "Please do it, please." So he came to Viswamitra and he said, "Brahmarishi Viswamitra, I am happy." Then Viswamitra also became very happy because he was called by none other than Vasista as Brahmarishi. So he was this time he was not arrogant. This time he was very obedient, very submissive, and with all the respect he gave to Vasista because he called him Brahmarishi. So both were happy and they went back to their places. This one. All this was in Balakanda of Ramayana. This runs into 140 pages of Valmiki Ramayana. All this story was narrated by Satananda to Rama. And while Viswamitra was present and listening to all this story. There is another story which is taken from Guru Charitra by Bhogeswar Sarma. It was in Sanskrit, he has translated into Telugu. I thought it is very relevant here, so I added this also. Actually, Gadi's ancestors or Viswamitra's ancestors were like this. Brahma has a son by name Kusudu. Kusudu's son is Kusanabhudu. Kusanabhudu's son is Gadi. Gadi's son is Viswamitra. Before Viswamitra was born, he had a daughter by name Satyavati. Satyavati is a beautiful woman, and at the marriageable age, one Rishi by name Ruchika. Ruchika came and asked Gadi, I want to marry your daughter. Then he said, "Oh Maharshi, you are a Brahmin, we are Kshatriyas. I don't know whether you will accept that." He said, "I will accept that. I have no objection." Then he said, "Only one condition. We have got a tradition of taking 1,000 white horses with one ear black. So if you can get the 1,000 horses, white horses with one ear black." He said, "Okay, I will do it." Then he went to Devata Varun and asked for this 1,000 white horses with one ear black. He brought those 1,000 horses and gave it to King Gadi. Gadi was also happy and he kept his word and gave Satyavati for marriage. They were both very happy. And Ruchika's father was Bhrugu Maharshi. He came to know that his son got married, so he wanted to bless the new couple. So he came. And Satyavati was also very happy to see her father-in-law. So she served him very well and gave all the kinds of service to whatever is required to Bhrugu Maharshi. Bhrugu Maharshi was very happy with his daughter-in-law and he called her. "I want to give you a boon. What do you want?" She said, "I want a son." And he said, and she also said, "If you accept, my mother also is wanting a son." He said, "No problem. Both of you will get your sons." And he said, "I am making a charu." Charu means it is from the stem of a tree, the powder-like thing they take and mix it with their milk or water and make like a ball. He made 2 balls and he gave his mantra onto that. And he told this you eat, Satyavati, you eat this. And after eating that, you embrace Udumbara tree. And your mother, after eating, she should embrace people tree. She said, okay. And Bhrigu Maharshi has left. Then Satyavati's mother has cheated. She understood this one and she ate the charuvu which is meant for Satyavati, and she embraced Udumbara tree. And Satyavati was not knowing what had happened, so she ate the remaining charuvu and she embraced people tree. After some time, they both became pregnant, and Bhrigu Maharshi came and he saw in the Divya Drishti that Satyavati's mother has cheated her daughter. So he told Satyavati, now you are going to get a son who is very cruel and he is having all the Kshatriya's qualities. She cried, father-in-law, please save me from this. I cannot have a son like that. Then he said, okay, I can do one thing. If you are not liking to have a son, you may have to have a grandson. She said, there is no alternative. Okay, I will have a grandson like that. The grandson, her son was born as Jamadagni. Jamadagni married Renuka, and they had 4 sons. And one of them, last one, is Parsuram. At one time, when Jamadagni got angry with his wife, Renuka, he called his sons, kill your mother. All the 3 brothers didn't kill. But Parsuram, he said, okay, I will kill my mother and 3 brothers also. In one shot, he killed all the 4 people. And the father was immensely happy and asked, what do you want? I want my mother and brothers alive. So he got back his mother. So Parsuram was very, very angry man and a cruel man. So, and what had happened, once Kartavirya sons killed Jamadagni. So Parsuram was very angry, and he travelled around the earth 21 times and killed all the Kshatriya kings. Whoever has hidden, they only survived. So he was a ruthless man. So this quality has come because he got the Kshatriya qualities which were embedded in that charu. And by embracing the tree, she got Ravi, that is a people tree. She got a son like the grandson like that. And at the same time, Satyavati's mother got a son, who is none other than Viswamitra. Viswamitra got all the Brahmin qualities. His penance added to these Brahmin qualities made him a Brahmarishi. I thought this reason behind their births also is important to become a Brahmarishi. I thought this will be interesting because we saw Viswamitra's hard work. Apart from that, there is a secret behind his birth also. So I thought it will add